This is Talking Hardcore, the podcast for people who love hardcore history.
You study history because it allows us to understand the present and prepare for the future.
I'm not trolling.
And I love it.
I'm just pointing out where they're wrong.
The Talking Hardcore podcast is presented by Ace Industrial Solutions. Are you in need of skilled trade professionals for your next project? Look no further.
Hi, everybody. You're joining us. We've just been talking politics and shit for almost 30 minutes, and now we're starting the podcast. This is Talking Hardcore History Trivia, Death Throes of the Republic, Part 1. I am pumped because I fucking love Death Throes of the Republic. And I dropped an F-bomb. That's how excited I am. I think if people have been paying attention, careful listeners have noticed that I swear less than I did at the beginning.
All right.
One, because I'm drinking less, and two, because I'm trying, in case people watch this with children.
We're trying to pull it back.
I just try not to
reel it
swear
in, George.
that much. But I think it makes it a little bit more effective when you only drop one or two. Okay. Anyway,
Or wait.
Scott,
Yep. And
Matt, we're playing trivia today. As I said, Death Throes of the Republic. If you haven't heard that, pause this episode. Go to Dan Carlin's website if you don't already own the episode. Buy the episode, listen to the episode, and then come see if you can beat these guys. I have a feeling that you might be able to beat Scott. I don't know about Matt.
George,
I don't know.
George has a lot of confidence in me.
Hey, you held your own with Dan Carlin.
Ooh. How did that end up? I don't even remember.
Yes, you do.
Was it 7 to 8?
This is going to be
it
my
was
lowest
42.
ranking trivia. I promise you.
No, dude, you're good. All right. So, if you're unfamiliar with the episode, or with this format, we played hardcore history trivia based on a previous episode. These two know the episode ahead of time. They can go re-listen to it, and that way they have a chance to really bone up and get ready for the hard-hitting questions that I've came up with.
And if you're a little concerned about winning or losing, there's always alcohol.
There you go.
Yes.
Scott with his words of
That's
wisdom.
a bumper sticker.
Yes, it is. That is a bumper sticker. Okay, so today we have 8 questions and then a tiebreaker because this is a shorter episode. I didn't want to stretch and come up with 10 with a couple weak questions, so I just went with 8. I have a tiebreaker in case you guys tie. And either way, we'll do the tiebreaker because it's wasted after this anyway. So, Death Throes of the Republic, just as a little recap for the listeners in case you just want to listen to the trivia and not go back and listen to Hardcore History episode, Death Throes of the Republic Part 1, is about the Roman Republic, the start of the fall of Roman Republic. Right? Not the Roman Empire, the Roman Republic. Okay. Matt, you got any words before we start?
I really enjoyed listening to this episode, and I'm happy we're talking about it today. I enjoyed the competition, and I look forward to my imminent defeat by Scott.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to add that.
No. Scott, do me a Russian. If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
Nice.
And may the best man win.
There you go. Okay.
Don't set you. All right.
No, go ahead.
Come on, say it.
Don't set yourself up. He already set himself up as being the best man.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You left the door open. I was going to.
Question 1.
What's wrong?
No.
Question 1. This is a multiple choice question.
Thank God.
What century did the plebeians go on strike by refusing to go to war, leading to the creation of the tribunals?
Jesus.
A. 4th century BC. B. 2nd century BC. C. 1st century AD. And D. 7th century BC. Now write it big so that you can turn it right where you're holding it so the camera can see. That's probably big enough.
I'm ready with mine.
Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. What century did the plebeians go on strike by refusing to go to war, leading to the creation of the tribunals? That question makes a lot more sense if you know anything about ancient Roman Republic, and if you don't, go listen to this friggin' episode. Okay, everybody. Matt, you ready? Okay, let's see. A, 4th century, B, 2nd century, C, 1st century AD, and D, 7th century BC. Matt, you ready?
Yeah.
I got B, 2nd century BC.
Me too.
Oh, both wrong.
What?
It was the 4th century BC.
Fourth, right. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Wrong. So this is easy to keep score.
You know what, Matt? I thought first. Starting out strong, Matt. Starting out strong. Tied. We're tied.
Hey,
Tied.
starting out
This is a
equal.
heated battle. All right. Question 2. The tribunals, this is another multiple choice. I really tried to get you guys into it with at least giving you a 1 out of 4 chance at the start.
Thank you.
The tribunals represented the interests of the plebeians in the Roman system. What was the typical number of tribunals in power at one time? A.
Got it.
2. B. 5. C. 8. D. 10. Again, the tribunals represented the interest of the plebeians in the Roman system. What was the typical number of tribunals in power at one time? A is 2. B is 5. C is 8. And D is 10.
Ready?
I can't. I don't know this one. All right. Ugh.
Okay, show your answers, boys.
Well, I said B5.
Scott says B5. Matt says
2.
you said 2, so you said A2. Both wrong again.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's D10. Consuls were 2.
There's 10 tributes. Yeah, there's 10 tributes of the plebs.
And I had no idea about that till I listened to this episode again, and Dan slips it in at the beginning. I was like, holy shit.
I think he focuses on the 2 that vie against each other and just
Right, it
I
is.
completely missed
You're
the other
100%
8.
right. And I'm always
Jesus.
thinking, like, they got one of them, but, like, there's always
Oh,
there's 9 more. Okay.
Well, see, now,
that-
like, when you say tribunal, I was then thinking 3.
Right.
'Cause-
Oh, hey, that's actually kind of smart. I should have put 3 on there just to throw you down.
That screwed me up.
But I didn't think about it. Okay.
yeah, all right. Let's keep
Question
going.
3. I think you guys are going to get this one.
Maybe.
Thank God.
This person proposed the corn dole, a measure which gave free grain to the poor of Rome. Again, this person proposed the corn dole, a measure which gave free grain to the poor of Rome.
God.
Spelling is not important. Spelling is stupid, and I would argue also dumb. Yeah, that didn't make a lot of
Spelling is
sense.
dumb.
It is dumb, though.
It's really not.
That's what a dumb person would say.
Yeah,
I bet you could spell just fine.
it,
All right, Matt, are
Are you
you
doing
ready?
Yeah.
Okay, show your answers. Scott says Tiberius Gracchus. And
said
Matt
Caius
says Caius Gracchus. Matt gets it.
Yay, Matt. It was one or the other one. It was one or the other. I knew I was going to screw it up. Woo! On the
God,
board!
that feels good. I love that.
Yeah, it's
All right,
got
I
to
love
be a
the
little
cheers.
bit good to have some freaking cheers now. Okay, this one's a little harder.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You're going to hate this one.
I'm sure I will. It's probably
Question 4. After this, we'll do a scoring update.
probably some stupid date.
Yeah. What year did Tiberius Gracchus become tribune of the plebs?
Oh, come on, man.
Dude,
Come on, he says it specifically.
it doesn't
I'm sure
matter.
he does.
It's a big one. All right, I'll make it multiple choice. You guys bitch too much. I'll make it multiple choice. All right. What year did Tiberius Gracchus become tribune of the plebs?
It's not going to matter. I
Plebs,
have no idea.
excuse me. A. 201 BC. B. 175 BC. C. 98 BC. D. 133 BC. So again, what year did Tiberius Gracchus become tribune of the plebs?
I probably got this one wrong, too.
Probably. I mean, odds are it's 1 in 4.
Well, you already saw my answer.
I'm not saying anything. All right, Matt, you let us know when you're ready.
Was the final one 133?
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready.
Do you want to adjust your answer after Matt might have just said that he thinks that it's the final one?
No.
Okay. All right. So, Scott, show your answer. You're saying A, 203.
203 BC.
Matt is saying
I'm going 133.
Matt got it right. 133.
Damn,
Gee,
Matt.
Yeah, that stood out to me. You know why that stood out to me? Because I remember that Julius Caesar was born in. So we're talking about. I mean, people talk about Julius Caesar as the guy who ended the Roman Republic, but Dan is talking about the trends and forces in Roman society that produced Julius Caesar that ended the Roman Republic. And,
Exactly.
and that number 133 stood out to me as being so close in time to the birth of Julius Caesar that all this impetus and these forces were producing that figure. So right on.
That's why I threw it 98 BC
Good
just
question.
to try to
Because there's no way it could have been within the lifetime of Julius Caesar, right?
Right.
I just remember it had 3. And then I remember we were talking about 2nd century BC.
Mm-hmm. I wondered if that would throw you off.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. So now, scoring update. Now we're halfway through. It's Matt 2, Scott 0.
Skunked.
Okay. All right. Question 5. The populari were politicians who represented the interests of the common folks. What was the name of the group who opposed them?
Gotcha.
You know, when I was thinking these questions, I did not think they were going to be that bad. And then now as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh, shit. There's no way you guys picked this
I was
up.
praying you were going to ask something like this.
Were you really?
Is a slight variation of this name as long as I get like the intention of it correct?
Yeah,
Acceptable?
dude. Yeah, dude.
All right.
All right, I'm going to read it again. The populari were politicians who represented the interest of the common folks. What was the name of the group who opposed them?
I'm ready.
And I think we should try to come up with a punishment. If Scott gets all of these wrong, he should have to do something.
Yeah,
Like
he should
post
have
a
to transfer
video
around.
saying that he's decided to be communist. Or something like that. Like, I feel like it needs to be a real punishment, and we're too
He
old
should
for you to do a
he
fun run.
But what happens when I lose? Like,
No, it's get skunked. It's not lose. If he gets
Oh,
no
okay.
questions right.
all right.
That's, I'm not saying about winning or losing. I understand that. But, like, if you go 0 for 8,
9.
well, there's a tiebreaker. Yeah, 9. So I feel like if you get skunked, there should be some kind of punishment.
Maybe it's just because you suck at writing questions.
I don't know. These seem like they're hard.
That's the point.
Well, why would I make them easy?
Well, anyway.
Anyway.
Matt, I'm going to say I believe.
Okay, you wrote okay, show your answer.
Well, I showed. Wait,
okay, listen. The question was, the populari were politicians who represented the interests of the common folks. What was the name of the group who opposed them?
So,
show your answer.
This is a joke.
Okay, well, you don't have to tell me it's a joke.
This is a joke.
Well, if it was funny, you didn't have to say it's a joke.
I want to hear
just laugh.
Scott's joke first. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
The lawyers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wrote too. That's the correct answer. No, I'm just kidding. I wrote the Optimari or whatever it was.
Yep. It's the Optimates, and I'm going to give it to you because spelling is stupid.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
If you try to plural it with an R with Latin, that makes sense.
It meant the best. The meaning is the same.
Exactly.
It meant
exactly.
the
Matt
best
picked
man.
it up.
Yeah.
So it says the Optimates were the conservative faction of the Roman Senate and aristocracy who generally favored the interests of the wealthy and elite classes over those of the common folks.
Can we talk about that name for a minute?
Yeah, please.
Like, if you're gonna name your political party something that's trying to appeal to like get votes, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't call it "we're better than you."
But they weren't trying to get votes. That's what's funny, right? Because think about the way their system worked.
That's a good point.
Only the senators could vote, except for the tribunes.
Yeah, and they're appealing to the Senate, which is a very important point. They're appealing, which is the factions, and that's what this whole episode is about, which is so cool.
But you're right, it's funny because then the populari are for the people, and the Optimates are for the Senate.
I'm a populari guy. Like, I love those guys.
I can tell you would be.
I still forgot. I just forgot the name he just said.
Optimates. Okay. Question 6. We've got 3 more chances for Scott to get on the board here, guys. Let's hope so. Now, what was the name of the class of Roman citizens that were gaining tremendous wealth during the rise of the Roman Republic, but were not senators? What was the name of the class of Roman citizens that were gaining tremendous wealth during the rise of the Roman Republic, but were not senators? Come on, Scott, you got to know this.
B, butchers. C, fishmongers.
Yeah, do I need to make this fucking a multiple choice? Or
Don't,
are you just gonna put
because
a
I already
smart
know
ass
it.
for my?
Please.
Because
I was gonna put something smart on there, but
well, one more answer. If you don't get this and Matt does, he's literally already won.
yeah, I know.
You can't catch him. That's okay.
Yeah.
You got
Okay.
this, Scott. Come on, man.
Remember, Dan calls them like the night class
I was going to give him that clue, and I'm glad you did.
in the death
so.
throes. He talks about all the time how they're like they were like the wealthy but not senators. They were like the equivalent of knights. What did knights ride? They ride horses, right?
Yeah,
That
I
was
gotcha.
that was an additional almost.
Like I'm throwing you all these
That's
bones,
enough clues.
dude.
That's enough
it's-
fucking clues, man.
All right.
That's enough fucking
Scott's
clues.
giving up.
No, I'm not.
Okay, we'll come up with an answer. Matt, let's have some playful banter.
Hey, how's it going, man? I love those. Hey, you want to check out my new backdrop?
Yeah, I like it. By the way, I saw it when we were doing the Long Hunters podcast. This is dope.
Cool. Right on. Thanks. I put some work.
Yeah.
I built that mount for my sword out of African zebra wood stained with tongue oil, or actually tongue
you
oil doesn't
colonizer.
stain. It brings out the natural color in wood. And yeah, I'm stoked that I got these pieces of
That's sweet,
representative
dude.
of Renaissance social life and stuff. Yeah, right on.
I
Man.
like it. That's
all right,
dope.
all right, Scott. Crunch time.
What we'll do later
Bring
is
it.
we'll have you pull the camera closer so we can get a better look too.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I was,
All right.
Answer.
Scott, show your
this,
answer.
this probably isn't going to be. I mean,
Answer.
Show
What'd
your
you
answer.
write?
so I said soldiers or troops, but
Oh.
Nope.
I
Nope.
thought generals is what it is.
Matt, what's your answer?
Equestrians.
That is correct.
See, what the fuck?
Equine, as in
Equine
equine,
is
as
a
in
horse.
horses, as in
That's why
the
I
thing
said
that
knights
distinguishes
and-
a knight from a common foot soldier. Thank you very much.
Okay, so this
But-
one time, you know what I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
We should
Oh,
probably.
you have a
mute
story
this.
about a horse?
No,
I want to hear it.
No.
Uh,
One time in Tijuana,
This one time.
I don't know if I could say
I
that.
haven't sat right for years. You just yada yada yada,
Now, this
and I
is-
still can't sit.
This
down.
this isn't right. Why am I censoring myself? I was just going to say.
Let her rip, buddy. If
I was
it's
gonna
bad,
say-
I'll just go.
I was going to say the Jews.
I'm gonna beat that.
Come on, that was funny.
Yeah, please.
That
We're
is
trying to
funny.
gain listeners.
That is
We're-
funny, but man, I'm gonna beat that. That's fun.
Yeah,
That's
you
fun.
guys.
If you guys want to know what he said, you're gonna have to message me. Just to go.
It'll probably sound worse when you beep it because I'll just like imagine things. You guys,
Yeah,
know
but that's
you
why
have
it's funny.
famous people.
But then they can email me and I'll tell you what he said.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
The talking
All right.
hardcore at gmail.com. All right.
You have to join
so,
the Discord.
Matt, that makes it so you are a winner.
You can't play the same one.
Now I'm playing the clapping.
This is boring.
All right, we're gonna keep going anyway. Don't
Let's
be a
rock
sore
it.
loser.
I'm not being a sore loser.
Be a sore loser.
I really don't care.
All
I
right.
told you, there's alcohol.
All right. Question 7. This Roman consul served during the time when conflict erupted between Gaius Gracchus and the conservative faction in Rome. This Roman consul served during the time when conflict erupted between Gaius Gracchus and the conservative faction in Rome. And it was actually, that's all I'm giving you. You look so pissed.
I don't know. No.
Did you listen to the
Yeah,
wrong episode?
I honestly don't know this one either, and it was something I was hoping would stand out. I did listen for it,
Mhm.
but the focus is so much on
Yep. He
everybody
slips it in
besides
there.
the console.
The
He
Gracchus
slips
brother.
it
Yeah,
in
I
there.
know. I was
No.
listening
He's the
for
guy
it,
who
and
opposes the Gracchus brother.
No, I know.
Right.
I know.
and
But
I
slips it in
honestly-
there.
I
You're all
honestly-
about these like little minute details.
That's
Yeah.
fucking trivia. What am I supposed to ask?
The first question I would have asked.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay.
Let's see how dumb
What
this
are the
is.
name and what is the first and last name of the two brothers that
Yeah, that's obvious, so I didn't do that. I also had who proposed the corn dole.
Yeah, but he might not have
You
known.
just got the wrong brother.
He might not have known Gracchus. He don't I'm
He's
sorry.
fucking guy who proposed the corn dole.
Yeah, but that's
That's one of the brothers. You think you didn't know the other
It's
one?
a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, I know. I understand why you missed that. I'm just saying, like, that's a similar
Gentlemen, there's
question.
weapons in the room. Let's calm it down.
No, fuck you, Scott. I'm not even-
Don't get a
Oh,
you're gonna flash in the
that didn't
pan,
work.
George. Flash in the pan.
Don't worry, I don't even have the stuff to fire these in the house. Like, I'm
you
not
have to
going
go make stuff to fire
All right.
this. All right.
So,
go.
do you guys just want
What else you
to
got?
forfeit this question
Yeah,
right away?
No.
Yeah,
This
let's-
Roman
I got an
consul
answer.
served during the time when conflict erupted between Gaius Gracchus, and the conservative faction in Rome. Show your answers. Scott says,
I heart togas.
I
I
heart
have,
toga. That
I
is
have nothing.
incorrect.
I have nothing.
And Matt wrote down, I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
It was, I don't know if I pronounced it now because Optimus.
Like, who remembers that guy for anything other than the reason you mentioned?
The funny thing is looking this up, he was of the two consuls, he was like the least well known.
Yeah, okay.
And so ChatGPT was having a hard time like helping me figure out how to spell it.
Wait a minute.
But
ChatGPT can't even get it right?
It got it. Once it got past my terrible spelling.
Oh.
Okay.
All that
Yeah, 'cause
matters,
spelling's
it's
stupid.
cool, man.
Yeah.
all
So
that matters is
Optimus
that I've
was-
already won.
Right. Optimus was aligned with the Optimates, the conservative faction, and he played a significant role in the events leading to the
So,
violent
is there
suppression
some
of Gaius
connection there
Gracchus
where
and his supporters in 121 BC.
Can we call him
That's interesting.
Optimus Prime?
Yes, we should call him Optimus
No, it would
Prime.
be Optimates Prime.
Optimates
Optimus
Prime?
Prime. Yeah. So that's interesting. Is there some connection between the naming where, I mean,
I don't
who
think
had
so,
the name first?
because when Dan pronounced it, it didn't sound very close. I think I'm also
Okay,
just
all right,
pronouncing
all
it
right,
wrong.
Cool. All right.
Right,
man.
because that's why I had a hard time with the spelling, because he pronounced it way different than it was spelled. Not way different, but a little different. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, I could see how you would spell it that way.
Was there an E in it?
No, but it starts with an O, and the way Dan said it, I thought it started with an A.
Ah, gotcha. All right, George,
Okay.
come on, no skulking today.
Question 8. Finish the following phrase. This is the one you should get.
Maybe.
Finish the following phrase. Protect the I'm going to start over. Protect the Commonwealth and suppress all blank.
Wow.
Protect the
There was a couple-
Commonwealth and
Wow, that's a
suppress
good one.
all blank.
I don't know how to spell them.
Listen, this is a word you know how to spell. So if you don't know how to spell it, you got the wrong word.
I don't think I know how to spell it.
This is a word you know how to spell. So if you're spelling it wrong, you got the wrong word. That's the best I'm going to give you. I'm trying to get you not skunked.
So there were a couple phrases in this episode that I really thought you might call out. I won't give them, but regarding quotes of this nature. This is not one that I expected, and I have no recollection. But just from the context, I'm going to provide something.
Okay. You got to remember, what did the Romans always worry about?
No, that's where I'm going with it. Absolutely.
Right. That's what you need to think about.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody sees my
All right.
hands.
Go ahead and throw up your answer there, Scott.
I said barbarians or opposition?
Tyranny.
No.
Neither.
Tyrants.
Tyrants.
Hey.
God.
Tyranny.
George?
Yep.
I
Following, it was protect. They gave him. So if they remember, they gave Optimus
Optimus Prime.
Yeah, they gave him basically what Dan says, the equivalent of martial law powers.
Yeah.
Because with the task of protect the Commonwealth and suppress all tyrants. Because if you accuse somebody of a tyrant, they were trying to be a king,
And they're trade.
and you could fuck them up.
See, now that's a different.
That's something that's always been fascinating to me, is that the association with words has changed over time, but they really came from the Romans. I mean, we talked about this when we reviewed Pax by Tom Holland, who is quoted in this episode. Pax meant something different back then, depending on what side of it you were on, of course, you know, the way that peace was enacted and enforced. But tyrant only, and okay, before I get to that, the word dictator was a good thing, right? Like, hey, Hannibal's invading, let's elect a dictator, give him temporary power, and then the measure of his character and therefore the honor he would receive was how quickly and willingly he gave up that power following the solution to the crisis.
Yep.
And then tyrant could only mean king. That's the only freaking thing it meant. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
and king could only mean, and I think that what I meant to say was, I'm sorry, king could only mean tyrant. There were no good
Right.
kings.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm happy I wrote that down. and
They were
received another
fearful
point.
of king and tyrant. So good try though. Okay.
And Dan leads with that in this episode. He leans hard into the whole
Right.
aversion
Well,
to
because
monarchy.
that was heavy on their minds, right? Like when Brutus was
as
stabbing
were
Caesar.
as were the founding
that's
fathers
what they were doing.
when they
Tattoo Brutus.
as were
Yeah.
the aversion to monarchy was right there in the founding fathers when they wrote the Constitution and established the
Right.
rights that we are trying to uphold today.
Exactly. Okay, but I'm going to give the tiebreaker question. And this is Scott's chance to not get skunked.
That's going to be skunked.
No, because this one is a numerical question, and it's whoever's closer wins. So you just got to be closer than Matt.
That's not saying much.
But if he gets it on the nose, you're effed.
Yeah.
Unless you also get it on the nose, then I'll give you the tie because you're desperate.
I'm not. I really don't care.
The Populari were trying to limit the amount of public land one citizen was allowed to hold to how many acres?
Got it. The
Populari were trying to limit the amount of public land to one citizen was allowed to hold to how many acres. So what this references is there was several Populari attempts to pass a law limiting how much land the rich people could hold because they were buying up all the land and working with slaves so that the common people could not afford to work their own land. So there was common land that they were taking from enemies in war. And this is the law that they kept trying to get passed, and there was a lot of support, but it kept getting killed.
I'm almost 100%.
Scott, go ahead and tell us your answer.
500.
Matt,
500.
tell us your
500.
answer. You both got it.
500.
Check.
Yeah.
Scott's on the board.
No skunk.
Good job, Scott.
No skunk.
Oh, right. I'm not a communist.
That's great, man. I'm proud of you.
So,
yeah, buddy.
The reason why I remember that one specifically is I was sitting there. Thank you, George.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there thinking, like, damn, 500 acres is a whole lot of land.
Not really.
It is.
That's still a lot.
It only seems like a lot to us now.
Well, especially
my grandpa had 100 acres in Kentucky, and it was the smallest farm by far.
Yeah, but
wow.
But 1,000 to them was like a decent size.
That's a huge farm.
Like you say that, right? But so my grandpa somebody would pay him to farm the 66 acres.
Yeah.
Do you know what that brought in every year?
Enough to pay the taxes.
Yeah, like $10,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Like so,
Wow.
100 acres, 600 or 60 acres. I mean,
yeah, but
500 is barely enough to support yourself.
But typically, these 500 acres weren't farms; they were these huge estates.
Well, no.
That's what they say.
What he said is they were buying them up and combining them into these huge estates.
Gotcha.
The idea was to limit them from getting all of those huge estates by limiting them to 500 acres.
Yeah, but if you think about modern farming techniques compared to how the Romans were doing it, I mean, they didn't have combines.
They had slaves.
But
the common people had to work them themselves. But maybe we should save that for the addendum.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was about to get into that whole thing, but I mean, the coverage of this episode is going to be great, so I'm looking forward to that. If you
we can do that. We can roll right into the Talking Hardcore History Trivia addendum episode now.
Cool.
If you guys want,
doing an addendum.
Well, that's the new thing we do after every trivia episode. We recorded an addendum episode talking about the episode that we played the trivia about.
All right.
So that limits the trivia episode to a little bit shorter, like 25, 30 minutes. And then gives us another 20 minutes or so for other people to watch. So we end up with 2 shorter episodes, which I think some people might enjoy. If you guys would rather us put them all in one, please comment at the Discord channel or on the email. Also,
if you're still listening.
If you're still listening by now, you heard Scott get his ass kicked. But thanks for listening.
Wait, what was the total? 5-1?
No, I think Matt might have had more than that. I stopped counting after he won. Like so early. I mean, I'm not gonna. All right, we're good enough. I'm not gonna waste everybody's time when they listen to me count.
All right, well, Matt, it was 6-1. How's that? We'll call it 6-1.
Thank you, sir. I was.
Yeah, you missed the first 2 questions. I think maybe you missed 3.
I was worried about the general content of this episode, and I'm just happy to have made a good showing. So thank you to all
you did
involved.
well.
And good game, Scott.
Oh, thank you.
Scott, way not to get skunked.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. Check out watch the feed for the next addendum episode where we basically are going to start right now.